Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Bitter-Swede Garage. So today I'm going to be working on the windshield. I need to take out the glass and send it off to a guy out in town to get a template made. As you can see, got a crack here. Probably some kid with a BB gun. Who knows? Maybe I did it 30 years ago. I don't remember. But so I need to take both pieces out because I only need one for the template. I don't want to use a cracked one as the template just in case it breaks, while the guy has it. But I do want to replace both panes of glass because I'm thinking that the color will be off if I just replace one side. The side glass is okay. I don't plan on changing that. I will have to eventually change the glass in the back, the rear glass. But that comes as a kit and not too concerned about that. So let's get to it. The first thing I'll need to do is unbolt the window crank here. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. It's the one where I repair the crank. Took pretty much all evening to do it, mostly because the bolts were really hard to get to. Anyway, so let's see. I think it's just this one bolt on top. There's one bolt that holds the blade in place. If you're wondering why I don't have a seat, I actually do have a seat, but I don't want to leave it in the truck because I don't drive it every day, and the mice will play. So, and rats. We have rats here in Ridgecrest, California. If you didn't know that. Most places have rats, I guess, but we especially have them. I think because we're in the desert and it's the only area that has life, like green grass and other animals and things for them to eat on. Anyway, it's not about rats. Let's move on. Apparently I need a pair of pliers. All right, I'm back. This may be easier from the outside, but all about doing things the hard way, apparently. Yeah, let's do this from the outside. Oh yeah. Much easier to see. What I can't see is the, the screw head. For Pete's sake. Oh, there we go. I was just gonna say, can you see it? Because I can't. Almost there. All right. Let's attempt to not lose this bolt. Come on now. Apparently it needs coaxing. There you go, little buddy. Okay. Our windshield is free. All right, the actual removal of the windshield shouldn't be too bad. My brother Andrew was kind enough to only put 2 bolts, one on each side. Thanks, Andrew. To be fair, he knew I was going to work on it, so let's see how to remove this without breaking it. All right. Bolt number 1. Just put that back. Let's remove this side. Thankfully, they use stainless steel, even way back then. Keep stuff from rusting out. Because I can only imagine trying to get these bolts out. It just wouldn't happen. We'd be getting a new windshield. Yep. Sweet. Just lay that down like so. There's that hinge. I'll give you a close-up of that. You know, I'm really curious to see if these windshield wipers work. Pretty sure they don't. But, in fact, yep, there's a shaft there. So, not sure if they're vacuum or electric. I would assume vacuum, but could be electric. Now that I have the clutch tips, I could take that cover off and look at it. However, not a priority today. We're working on the windshield. All right, here's that hinge I was telling you about. Hold on to that bolt. But yeah, that's it. Simple hinge, 2 bolts on each side. That's all that holds it in. Well, that and the blade on the bottom. Well, now that I have the windshield off, I'm seeing some damage here. Some rust. I'm sure, 80 years of having water drip down the frame caused it to rot out. There's not a whole lot of rain in Wyoming or here in Southern California. But yeah, eventually I'll probably have to get a new frame. But for now, I think it'll be all right. We'll just stick some new glass in it. It's not too much money. And eventually get a new frame. Maybe a 1-piece, which would look pretty slick. What do you think? Should I stick with a 2-pane windshield or 1-piece butted glass? All right, just gonna make myself a little workbench here. Back of the truck. Oh, already undid that side. Let's see, will this, look at that. Get a nice little close up here. Pretty sure that's a BB. In fact, I think the BB's still in there. All right. So I'm not sure if all these bolts need to come out or just like there's a couple on the top. Actually, that would be the bottom. I don't think there's a hole that goes through the glass to hold it together. So we'll just start cracking at it. And I might need a bigger screwdriver. One of these days I'm going to learn my lesson and spray my bolts the night before. But I like to do things the hard way. And it's not like I was thinking, I'm going to remove my windshield tomorrow. It's more like I got up this morning and figured, what am I going to do today? But anyway, we'll spray all these bolts down and let them sit just for a minute. Again, I don't know if all of them need to come out. Nope, sweet. It is a machine screw. That's good. It almost looked like someone stuck a couple of wood screws in there. They are coming out. Nice. Really didn't want to have to get the heat gun out. I don't have to. This bolt looks like it's been messed with. Well, this side's already undone, so I may not have to take that one out. If I just take these bolts out here, it's got a mixture of like a 10mm bolt and regular screws. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that. That came out easy. Back with my socket set. Try to keep my screws all in one place. All right, survey says 7/16. Let's see. That's a negative. It's always a 10mm. Why is it always a 10mm? It's like the one thing that we always lose, right? I mean, it'll work, but it must be a 3/8. It is. So let's go with that, because I don't want to risk stripping it. Put a little extension in here. But I pretty much use it for everything. These are surprisingly long screws to go through the windshield. These bolt directly through to, there's a stainless steel piece of metal on the front that holds the two halves together. I mean, I think I would prefer a one-piece glass. I think it would look better, but more expensive. Whereas this, you break a piece, it's just one half. You don't have to get two pieces. All right, so all the bolts are coming out easy. So we'll try to keep everything together. There's one piece. Looks like a piece of fabric or something. Insulating the glass. And then this middle piece is still stuck. Let's give it a little wiggle. The glass is moving. Oh, there we go. All right, so that was just jammed in there. You can see from that. Actually, I'll bring it up so you all can see it. That's what the inside of the windshield brace looks like, whatever you want to call it, divider. That's rubber, so this might be an aftermarket piece. It is stainless, thankfully, so nothing rusted. Okay, so these two pieces should slide apart because this one center bolt is out. This one's out. I think there's like a piece of metal. Yep, looks like there's a piece of metal that goes between the two halves that has thread on either side. There's no way it's coming out unless I remove these two bolts. Some of you are probably thinking, yeah, duh, that's what you gotta do. But hey, it's the first time I've taken a windshield apart. Give me a break. Yeah, I may need to cut this bolt off. Well, if I cut it off, then that doesn't help me because the shaft is through the piece of metal. Let's see if this side plays along. Maybe once I get this out, I can see if that's what's going on. Well, there's definitely a brace of some sort. What I don't know is if it's the same shaft. Again, I've got these two bolts out, so if I could slide this half off, that'll work. Well, let's get the bolt on the bottom too. Don't strip on me. I'm going to attempt to square this nut off so I can grip it with some vice grips. Let's see how this goes. I highly recommend wearing gloves. Look at that. Seriously, I just broke the bolt off. Well, that's going to require me to drill that out. Actually, I may not need to drill it out because it broke down past the frame slightly, so this might wiggle out. Spray a little PB blaster down the shaft. If I can get my straw in there. I'm thinking this side will move. Here's to hoping. My assumption is that I'm going to snap something. All right, now, be nice to me. It is just not budging. Nope, I've got movement. Oh, it is one piece. I see that now. Sweet. Let's give that a little more lubrication. Come on, buddy. There's got to be an easier way. I'm sure there's an easier way. It's called buy a new windshield. But I just like fixing up the old stuff, you know? It's just not the same. Once you throw this away, it's gone. It's gone forever. Nobody's gonna care about it like you do. Okay, a few of us will care. Now what could be holding this together? This is not connected at all. So someone got that bolt out. Slide this back together if we can. It'd be nice if there was enough room where I could just slide this out. But she's not going to play. Not that way. Might be rubber mallet time. Let's see if I can get this back together. This is the part that slid out. All right, that's back. Maybe that's the method. Maybe I need to hammer it. I do have all the screws removed. So there's a screw here, rust hole here. I don't think that held anything together. So it looks to be like a 4-inch piece of metal. Removed. Maybe now I can get a grip on that. She's a rusty. This is the bottom of the windshield, so that water just collected down there, unfortunately. Oh, success. You gotta love the vice grips. They do the job. This rarely happens. You usually have to drill the bolts out, like this one I'm going to have to do later. But for now, if I can get one of these sides to move, even if it's this slides out of this part and this slides out of this part. I just bent my screwdriver. Nice. This one's too fat. That one's probably too small. By the way, this was already damaged, so don't freak out. It's supposed to be a cutoff tool, but I use it for grinding and filing and all kinds of stuff. Okay. Well, back to the toolbox. One of these stubbies. Promising. Now, if I bend another screwdriver, that's ridiculous. Sweet. Hopefully I'm just not twisting the top off. Yep, I am. It's ridiculous. Come on, big buddy. You know you want out of there. Yeah, that broke off lower than the frame, so that should slide out. And maybe that someone attempted to try to separate these many years ago and gave up. But we're not doing that. All right, so I got this piece, the broken piece, wedged between the frame, which has given me enough room to slide this one out. That has worked. Maybe. Watch me push it out onto the ground. That'd be great. Success. Got the good piece out. Put that over here for safekeeping. Drop that off to the glass guy. Now let's see if I can get this other piece out. Yeah, here's the old weather stripping. Tar-coated fabric is what I would guess. All right, now that I have that piece out, let's see if I can get the broken piece out. Let's focus on getting this frame apart. But I'd really like to get the glass out. Do I dare use my foot? Yes, I dare. She is not sliding at all. I'm trying to get the two halves apart. I seem to be missing something. Maybe heat Well, it looks like it did slide slightly. Actually, it looks like somebody used heat to try to get that bolt out. Let's try that again. Oh, there it goes. I can see this being maybe a poor choice of direction. This glass breaks, I'm gonna slice my hand off. Don't need that. It looks like this top piece moved. And I know this one moved before, I believe. Actually, nope, that was the piece that moved last time. All right, well, let me work on this and I'll get back to you. All right, I think that's gonna do it for this episode. I'm gonna let this sit overnight with some PB Blaster or WD-40, whichever I have. And may have to apply some heat. I may have to get a whole new frame. I think I have seen them on eBay. But I'll let you know how that goes. I'll get the glass cut and maybe I'll try to put it back together the way I got it apart. Not advised, but that's what I got. So, more to follow. Again, thanks for watching.